President Erdogan said that despite Russia dropping out of the Black Sea grain deal,
Bir an önce ateşkesin ve barışın sağlanması herkesin faydasına olacaktır.
Did you know that a shocking deal could turn Ukraine into a puppet state? Today, we dive into the explosive details of Zelensky's visit to Turkey and Trump's controversial plans. Stay tuned as we reveal how this could change the fate of Europe forever. You will recall that about 3 days ago, former U.S. President Donald Trump, in a phone call with both Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, gave important hints for peace between the two countries. This call came at a time when both sides felt close to defeat as the material, moral, and human toll of the long-running war mounted. Trump has offered both Russia and Ukraine a lucrative peace deal to end the long-standing conflict and relieve America of the billions of dollars of economic burden it has borne during the war. Give us half of the minerals in exchange for our help, was Trump's tough offer, seeking control over the natural resources, energy infrastructure, rare earths, and strategically located ports that would become one of the most important parts of the Ukrainian economy in the post-war period. While some see this offer as an almost colonialist move, others argue that it is aimed at protecting America's interests. On the other hand, following these developments, Ukrainian President Zelensky took an important diplomatic step by visiting Turkey. Yesterday's talks with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan not only reinforced the military and economic cooperation between the two countries, but also signaled Turkey's role as a critical guarantor in the international peace process. In addition to its strategic position as one of NATO's second most powerful countries, Turkey is at the center of this process with its cooperation in the defense industry. For example, Turkey's unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, support to Ukraine and Baykar's planned factory in Ukraine are just some of the important steps that will further strengthen the two countries' military cooperation. In addition, the delivery of corvettes produced for the Ukrainian Navy in the coming years is also considered as a concrete indicator of close cooperation in the field of defense. In the diplomatic arena, the issue of guarantor countries to host the peace process has come to the fore again. This initiative, which previously had the support of the international community, now, with Turkey's involvement, points to the existence of great powers that both sides can rely on. Turkish officials have frequently stated that for the peace process to be managed in a healthy way, not only the U.S. but also Europe and regional powers such as Turkey should be involved in the process. Turkey's efforts could pave the way for a peace protocol that could go down in history as the Ankara Agreement. Of course, the positions of other countries and global actors are also crucial in this process. Russia not only firmly rejects Ukraine's NATO membership, but also wants Ukraine to become a neutral country and maintain the existing balance. Russia's demands include the recognition of Crimea as part of Russia, the recognition of the independence of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, and Ukraine's non-membership in military alliances. These demands symbolize the gains Russia wants to achieve both in domestic politics and in the international arena. Ukraine, for its part, continues to insist on the protection of its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Zelensky has stated that his country can be flexible on NATO membership, while at the same time demanding international guarantees. In addition, Zelensky expressed his country's openness to negotiations on the status of the annexed regions. European countries, on the other hand, continue to seek a diplomatic solution and argue that heavy sanctions should be imposed against Russia. However, it should be noted that China is also in a remarkable position in this process. China is not only a close friend of Russia, but also stands out with its calls for respecting Ukraine's sovereignty. China's stance is considered as a balancing factor in the international arena. Let us now consider the economic and strategic dimensions of this complex structure. The U.S. military and economic aid package to Ukraine has become a multi-billion-dollar burden since the beginning of the war. Trump's proposed peace deal is not only aimed at ending the conflict, but also at gaining control over Ukraine's most valuable post-war resources: rare earth elements, oil, gas, and ports. Lithium, in particular, plays a critical role in current and future energy strategy. This strategic element, which is used in the production of electric vehicles, renewable energy systems, the defense industry, and even everyday technology products, is described as the fuel of the future. Therefore, U.S. efforts to increase its share of these resources are of great importance both economically and geopolitically. It is also worth mentioning the other actors involved. Under Trump's leadership, the U.S. wants to have a say in Ukraine's economic restructuring process with the logic of "we helped, now share the profits with us." In such a case, by establishing a permanent control mechanism over Ukraine's natural resources, the U.S. will be taking a step towards becoming a power that can change not only the regional but also the economic balance of Europe. On the other hand, Russia's efforts to veto Ukraine's accession to NATO reflect its hope of achieving a symbolic victory in the international arena while reinforcing its own security policies. At this point, we can see that all these developments are not only in the political and economic arena, but also have a profound impact on the people. The Ukrainian people are both disappointed by these developments and seriously worried about the future. On the one hand, there are calls for international support and assistance. On the other, there are concerns about the risk of losing control of the country's most valuable resources to foreign powers. The people of Russia, on the other hand, are looking past the fatigue of the long conflict and hoping for political and economic gains for their country. Turkey's involvement in this long and arduous process is seen as a very strategic move. In terms of its geographical location and regional balance of power, Turkey stands out as one of the decisive actors in the new order that may emerge in the aftermath of this conflict. Ankara's willingness to host the peace process may pave the way for a peace protocol that will go down in history as the Ankara Agreement. Thus, Turkey can play an important role not only as a regional actor, but also in ensuring peace and stability in the international arena. In conclusion, these latest developments in the course of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia have profound implications not only for the two countries, but also for the entire European and global balance of power. The peace deal proposed by the U.S. under Trump's leadership, Russia's demands on Ukraine's NATO membership and territorial integrity, the diplomatic stances of Europe and China, and Turkey's strategic moves are all part of this larger picture. In the coming days, we will evaluate the results of international meetings, diplomatic contacts, and economic agreements together. So that's the detailed analysis of today's program. Thank you for watching, and I wish everyone a healthy, peaceful, and safe day. And we will see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.